In a matter of moments, we will talk to the man who will be fighting Brandon Moreno, and he's made a bit of a habit of fighting the local hero on his home turf. It was not that long ago, a little less than a year ago, some 10 or so months ago, that he fought Alexandre Pantoja in Brazil. And now he fights Brandon Moreno in Mexico City. What a wild time, what a career. We speak now to Astro Boy, who is also in Mexico City, Steve Erceg, kind enough to join us. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Big opportunity for you. What about that? Fighting Moreno in Mexico, fighting Pantoja in Brazil. This is, this is big time stuff. You enjoy these things, like fighting the star on their home turf, not neutral territory?
Yeah, 100%. I love going to the local city, and I've said it a couple times now, but if they find life on Mars, I hope they call me to fight for the first show against the Martian.
I love it. I also love the way in which you announced this fight on the bike, and then you crashed into the side of the road. Was this a parody of something? Was this an office thing? What am I missing here? I'm not very up to speed with
Yeah.
the cool kid stuff.
So yes, there was a parody of The Office, and yeah, him pretending he could ride a bike and crashing it into a car, and I thought about crashing it into the Mitsubishi in the back to start with. I thought, maybe not a good idea, so I just crashed it on the grass.
This is a deep cut. Was the Mexico reference a Bjorn Rebney reference, or am I overthinking this?
No, you're definitely overthinking it.
Okay, all right. I thought it was Mexico.
Yeah.
That's a famous. It hits close to home for me. Would you believe I don't know how to ride a bike? I'm 42 years of age. I don't know how to ride a bike. So I thought that you were maybe mocking the likes of me. So I was a little sensitive about it.
No, I was just, yeah, I wasn't mocking you specifically in
Okay,
the post.
just people who can't ride
Just
bikes.
people in general that can't ride a bike. Yeah.
We do have feelings too, Steve. Like we are.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Everyone's sort of conscious of other people's feelings, but I guess we don't. We don't matter. That's all well and good. This is a big opportunity, and I think that you have been in Mexico for the last few weeks, getting acclimated.
Yeah, we got here just over 3 weeks ago now. I didn't want to leave. Yeah, didn't want to find out that we weren't here long enough, so got here plenty early.
How was it early on? The people talk about the high altitude and just getting used to the air. Did you feel that early on?
Not really. The time when I noticed it the most was honestly going up the stairs. But the first week, I was told that if I go too hard in training, I'll put myself into a hole, and it's hard to come back from after that. So they told me to just like relax, which was honestly the hardest part, being like knowing I'm gonna fight Brandon Moreno and having to take a back step. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, I'd say.
What's the what's the city like? The atmosphere, like, can you tell? Like, we keep hearing about MMA growing over there. They just opened the PI. Can you feel that the sport is exploding over there?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of fans that recognize me, which first of all, that they recognized me, I was sort of shocked by, and then the second thing was they didn't hate me immediately. I was also shocked by it, but at the PI, that was like fantastic. The athletes there are also good, and got to train with them, and yeah, it was a really cool experience so far.
Why were you shocked that people recognize you? You had a tremendous fight against the champion not that long ago. If you're an MMA fan, you know who Steve Erceg is.
I don't know. I just feel like I haven't been here that long, and I mean, I feel like I got recognized more here than I do in Perth. Well, I
Wow.
don't know if that's because people in Perth don't want to bother me, maybe, or whether it's yeah, I don't know what it is, but I feel like more people came up to me here than they do in Perth.
I saw an interview that you did with, I believe, bjpenn.com, where you talked about, for lack of a better term, like imposter syndrome. Like, here you are, so young in your career, so young in your time in the UFC, fighting the likes of Pantoja, fighting the likes of Moreno, that you still can't quite believe all of this has happened to you in such a short amount of time. Is that an accurate assessment of how you're feeling?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I did a face off with Moreno yesterday, and it was. I said to him, I said, "Man, it's so weird. I've been standing here. I've been watching on TV for so long, and now I'm standing in front of you, ready to fight you." So it just, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel real sometimes.
At some point, do you feel like you need to get over that? You are here, you belong, you're a headliner, you've headlined multiple times now. Do you feel like that's something you need to shed?
No, I mean, I think I belong. I do think I belong. It just I don't want to lose that whole like excited to be around the sport and excited to meet all these, like get these opportunities and stuff. I feel like if I start thinking that, oh yeah, I'm the man and blah blah, I know I might lose something and become less relatable, perhaps.
Okay, fair enough. What was that like, by the way, facing off with him? Was he a nice guy towards you?
Yeah, he seemed nice enough. We didn't really say much. It was just
Okay.
face off. It was honestly the whole thing took a minute and a half.
Okay.
Hello, face off, leave. So
I know you've spent some time at the Mexico City PI. Have you been to the Vegas one? And if so, all right. So you have. Are you able to compare? We just spoke to Raul Rosas, who said that he likes the Vegas one better. What's your breakdown?
I like the Mexico one because I got to train with like different athletes and that sort of thing. So like the Vegas PI is awesome, but it's like you go in there, you train with your own team. So like it feels like a very different experience. With this one, like I came in and I've got this like whole team that I can like learn off of and train with, and like it was just a cool experience for me.
I know you've been there for a few weeks now, as you said. Any lucha libre? Did you go to any of the matches?
So no, I didn't. I was gonna do it last week on the Friday. Apparently Friday's the best day to go, but
Yep.
we just couldn't make it. We went to the soccer the week before, so that was really cool. But the plan is to hopefully get one in after the fight, go to Lucha Libre.
Okay, it is incredible. When the UFC was in Mexico City for the first time many moons ago, I went on a Friday night. It's an unbelievable experience, and I feel like Astro Boy is kind of a lucha libre like name. You know, I could see the mask now. I could see the whole gimmick. I feel like this is something that you would be great at.
I really hope they don't call me up.
Yeah.
That'd be not fun.
By the way, I like the merch. The sort of Speedy Gonzalez inspired merch.
Thank you very much.
I like this.
Appreciate it.
Yes, look
Yes.
at that. Who designed
Yeah,
that?
I thought my manager designed it.
Well done.
I thought it was I came to him with the idea as well, and he was way ahead of me. So it was cool that we're on the same page.
I love it. Could you explain, because I think you were supposed to fight earlier this month, right? And then you got pushed to this one. So
Yes.
what happened there?
Honestly, I don't really know. They called me and they called me and said that Asu couldn't fight anymore on the March card, and they have a replacement fight. And yeah, obviously the replacement was Moreno, and obviously I was very excited. And then I found out later that Asu's still fighting against maybe a debut guy, and then I don't know what happened. I think maybe the UFC needed somebody for Mexico City against Brandon, and it was me or Asu, and I was apparently more exciting, or I don't know how to describe it, but I think I was probably lied to.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, it's Asu Almabayev on an Apex card or Brandon Moreno in Mexico City. I would imagine that this interested you more, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I am not a person that usually gets excited as soon as I get a call about a fight. Usually the first emotion is nerves, and then I might get excited after. But yeah, I don't know what it was, but I wasn't even nervous when I got called. I got nervous later, but I was just so excited. Fighting in Mexico against Brandon Moreno is like a dream fight.
So considering, the last two fights, Pantoja and Kai Kara France, two of the very best, Kai Kara France probably fighting for the belt next. Were you expecting a name of this stature, or were you surprised that it ended up being Brandon as your next opponent?
No, I was definitely surprised. I expected somebody like Asu, to be
Yeah.
honest, like somebody like in the top 10, top 15, slightly lower down. So yeah, it was a shock, but like a happy shock.
And by the way, they were just in Australia. I know you don't reside in Sydney, but it is your home country. How come you weren't on that card?
I don't really know. I asked to be on it, but maybe people didn't want to come over and travel. I'm not really sure.
Okay. The last time, of course, we saw you was against Kai Kara France in August. That was a tough one for you. In retrospect, how do you assess what went down? How it went and what went wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for the experience. I mean, I still get to fight in Perth, and like it was a cool event, and I did feel like I was doing some stuff well, although it wasn't for very long. Mostly just moving back in a straight line for too long. I felt like I was getting out of the way and early, and honestly, I was trying to hold myself back from going and just starting to trade with it because I felt really good. I was like, oh, I got him now, and like, relax. He hits hard. Take your time. Don't do anything silly. But yeah, just going back on a straight line um, didn't serve me very well, and it uh, yeah. So I think one step, two steps back, left, right. I've been told that for a long time, and it's just getting it to muscle memory is the hardest part.
Did his power surprise you?
No, I expected him to hit very hard. The first punch he landed, honestly, I went, "Oh, this isn't so bad." And then obviously, next thing I know, I'm fumbling on the floor, like, I've lost this round, and then I realized it's the referee. So,
Ah. Considering that was a home fight for you in the UFC, how did you handle the aftermath?
I mean, obviously losing sucks, but I had obligations to like go and to the Metro's after party and that sort of thing. I was like, I don't want to be a sourpuss. I'll go and meet all my friends and family and stuff that are going down, and I'll just try to still enjoy the night as much as I can.
Mm. I've seen also in a recent interview with ESPN Australia, I believe it was, where you said that you're giving your body more time to rest, like you're not pushing yourself as hard in training. Is that an accurate breakdown of how you're feeling, and how do you balance, not training too much, but also training enough? Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. We've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show.
I don't think it's easy. I mean, I'm always worried that I'm not doing enough. So it's like, oh, I'm only doing 3 sessions of jiu-jitsu this week, and I'm only doing 2 of wrestling, and I'm always trying to fit more and more in. It's a hard thing to do, MMA. So trying to, I don't like listening to my body because I feel like that's a coward's way to justify not training. So I try to listen to my coaches as much as I can, and slightly reducing the amount of sessions I do, and then also getting my nutrition dialed in more has really helped.
And so, what about sparring? How do you feel about that? Are you one to believe that too much sparring or any sparring at all is not healthy?
I think too much hard sparring is bad, but I honestly like to do light sparring every day.
Okay.
We spar hard once a week, and then the other days I feel it gets my eye in the best. I make the best progress when I'm sparring consistently.
And is this how you always felt about training, or is this something that has come to you recently?
No, we've always been adapting it. So it's a more of a last 6 months, maybe last year sort of thing. We're doing more of those live sparring drills and that sort of thing. I definitely early in my career only sparred once, and that was hard sparring. But now as often as possible.
Sometimes is this a must-win fight conversation is silly because every fight is gigantic for any fighter, but no one wants to be on a losing streak. Are you approaching this as must-win? Do you feel like you have to win to keep your job? How are you viewing this fight?
I'm looking at it like, obviously I'm going in there to win. I don't like losing, but if I do lose, I mean, I wasn't good enough to be here anyway. So I can't dwell on wins and losses in the UFC too much. I'm going to go out there, do my best. And I believe my best is good enough, but we'll find out.
But also, I mean, the last 3 opponents are 3 of the very best fighters in the sport at 125 pounds. So it's not like your typical, oh, you just lost one here and there. So I feel like you didn't ask me, but it can't be a must win if you're fighting Pantoja, Kai France, and Moreno. You go out there, you hang tough, you do your best, and not all 3 fight losing streaks are viewed the same if this does in fact become that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely hope you're right.
But of course, we hope for a win, and that's what you are planning for. There was a period where I felt like there was this narrative that maybe Brandon Moreno's best days were behind him, and then he fought Amir Albazi in Edmonton in November, and it looked like he had turned back the clock and looked like, the old champion, Brandon Moreno. What did you think of that performance?
Yeah, I thought he looked really sharp. It looks like he's sitting a little bit lower, I think. More boxing heavy game. Like he still has the kicks and that sort of thing off of the step through, but I feel like he's been working on his boxing a lot, and it shows. It looks pretty good.
And so, are you expecting that type of approach to this fight?
Yeah, I expect mostly he'll try to box with me, but I'm definitely planning on him shooting at some stage because if everything goes well for me, it means that I'm whooping him on the feet and
Yeah.
he'll have to change something up. So I'm prepared for wherever he wants the fight to go.
Are you, there's a bunch of media stuff coming up, and the face-offs and the weigh-ins and the fight, and the Mexican fans are so passionate. Are you relishing this idea of not getting any cheers, and perhaps the Pantoja experience prepared you for all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy just a loud crowd in general, whether it's for me or against me, it doesn't really matter. Um, I obviously know they're going to be against me for this one, so yeah, I'm hoping to silence them by the end of the night.
Can I ask if it is in fact Pantoja, Kai France next? You know them very well, obviously. Who do you think wins that fight?
That is a really tough one. I think they're like tailor-made to fight against each other. Like Pantoja has a really strong chin and is really good on the ground. And Kai France hits really hard and has really good takedown defense. So I'm really excited to see how that one goes. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If Pantoja gets him down, I think Pantoja will submit him. But I mean, Kai, if he hits him, he's got to be the one to crack him. If I couldn't do it, somebody's got to do it, and that Kai would be the one. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm sorry. Not
Fair.
a good answer.
No, that's fair.
There
That's fair. There is a big talking point on 125 regarding Muhammad Mokaev, who may have been next for a title shot if things kind of went differently. How do you feel about him not being in the UFC?
I was shocked that he got cut. Obviously, being undefeated, you think that's enough to stay in the UFC, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the way he interacted with people around him, and then yeah, he's messaged me since, and I'm thinking more and more that he's a massive knob. So I don't care.
What do you mean? What did you see? What did you see as far as his interactions?
Oh, he seemed like a privileged, like a diva, I guess. Like everything has to be done the way I want it. I don't care if that's not how it's done. And I don't know. It was surprising because you think somebody that grew up the way he grew up would be a little bit more humble and that sort of thing. But it just seemed, I'm the guy you guys work around. I don't know. He just seemed like a douche.
And you witnessed this firsthand.
Yeah.
And then what did he?
He called me a liar because he just said I was a liar. I said I make a very clear point not to lie in my life. Obviously, people do screw up sometimes, but I try to be very honest with people and about things. And yeah, he said it didn't happen, and I don't disagree that he probably didn't recognize that he was being like that because he's a diva.
And you've talked about this in other interviews, and he heard it and then messaged you.
Yeah, it was. I think I just said I didn't like the way he treated someone. I didn't get into specifics, but it was very vague. And then he messaged me, and I don't know. There you go.
Yeah. And was that recent?
He messaged me maybe a year ago, less than a year ago. I can't remember. Okay. And then after I got knocked out, obviously he messaged me and asked me if I woke up. There you go. Gosh. Good on him. What a nice guy.
That's not. Yeah. Would you like to fight him?
Sure I was okay. Oh, of course. I mean, I imagine like another thing. Who gets into a street fight with somebody but starts at like, oh, let's squash the beef, let's take a photo, and then King hits him. That's like the most dog thing I've ever heard in my life. Like what he did to Cart was like disgraceful. If you're gonna do it, who cares? But go face to face. Like do it like a man. I don't know. It was disgusting. But there you go.
And so to finish your thought, if he did come back some way, somehow, you would love the
Yeah, I'd love to slap him around, 100%. I assume that if I ever went to London and he saw me in the street, I assume he's going to try to king hit me. So I'm ready for whatever nonsense he wants to generate, I guess.
Who can hate you? You're such a nice, mild-mannered, respectful guy.
I don't know. I imagine he was pretty upset after getting cut. And
right.
I don't know. Now, I don't know. I'm secretly an asshole. Maybe. Who knows?
What did you say? King hit you?
So a king hit is a coward's punch. It's like if you're facing the other way, not expecting it, somebody comes up and
Oh,
hits you in the back of the head. We call that a king hit
okay, all right.
in Australia.
That's an Australian thing. Okay, okay, I didn't know that. By the way, did you watch the? Are you a big NBL fan?
No, not really.
Okay, well, I saw there was the
Yeah,
finals, the basketball.
yeah, I
No, you don't.
didn't watch it at all.
Oh, all right.
No,
Wanted to
sorry.
talk about something that happened. Matthew Dellavedova. Do you know who he is?
I
Surely.
do know who he is. Yes.
Legend, legend. He won the MVP award, but his team lost the finals, and so he gave the award to the star of the winning team. I thought
Oh,
that was very honorable of him.
oh wow, that is very honourable of him.
Yeah. By the way, honorable of you as well. I do believe you hit 100K followers on Instagram, and then you armbarred your mom.
Yeah, she had it coming. She was giving me the side eye anyway. So yeah, she was. I don't think she was that surprised. I guess I usually beat up dad more so in the house anyway, but everybody gets it at some stage.
So was that the thing? Like, did you tell everyone if you hit 100K, you'd armbar your mom?
No, I just
You just felt like
felt
doing
like
it.
I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to post. Oh, hey guys, thanks for the support. I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll do something stupid, which
That's
is
right.
typical of me.
And did you? I mean, like, were you going hard there, or were you having some mercy on her soul?
Well, she did tap it. I didn't let go, so she was lucky dad was there to break it up.
That's dirty, by the way. I mean, maybe you are an asshole. Maybe Muhammad Mokaev is right.
Maybe, perhaps, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. All right. So what are we thinking as far as Saturday? How does it flow? How does it play out? What are you envisioning?
Yeah, so I usually go on with like a dead set plan and all that stuff, but for this one, I don't know why. Just it feels like I've looked at his patterns and that sort of thing, and we're just going to sort of see how the fight flows. I'm going to do my thing, and what he gives me is what he gives me. So I mean, I really do think I can knock him out, but I'm ready to take it to the ground. I'm ready to go 5 rounds. It's a mystery. This one, we'll find out.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. A big opportunity for you. You'll relish the opportunity, rise to the occasion. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out on Saturday. Thank you, Steve. All the best to you, and stay safe out there in Mexico. All right. Don't start any trouble.
We'll see. We'll see. Thank you very much.
All right, there he is, Astro Boy himself, Steve Erceg, returning to action in the main event of UFC Mexico City this Saturday. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.